At the Needham School Committee meeting on Tuesday, June 5th, the REAL Coalition presented an equity update. REAL stands for Race, Equity, Access, and Leadership. Here's a look what progress has been made regarding equity in the Needham Public Schools.
You may have heard people talk about the differences between a problem and a dilemma. A problem has a solution and then it's fixed. A dilemma is something that is continued to work on over time. And I believe that culture and climate is a dilemma that we have in the Needham Public Schools and will always be a dilemma. This isn't a topic that we will fix in the next school year or the next 2 or 3 school years, but something that we'll have to constantly be monitoring and shepherding as we have families who exit at graduation, new families who come in at kindergarten, and the same with our faculty and staff.
Despite the long road ahead, the Needham Public Schools want to take the steps to be culturally proficient.
We are actively analyzing our programs, practices, and school culture through the lens of equity and an awareness of white privilege or the power differential that exists between dominant and minority groups. We're developing programs of anti-racism training. We're working on developing an intentional identity as an anti-racist organization.
We've also made some immediate changes. For example, the language on the website for enrollment used to say Needham families, and we've changed it to Needham Public School families to incorporate both Boston resident families and also children of staff members who may not actually live in Needham.
I think it's important for us to clarify that we are not just a district that has a Metco program. We are a Metco district. And by changing that, that phrasing, we really help us to look at who and what we are through a different lens. When we're looking at our curriculum, when we're looking at our professional development, if we look at it through the lens of we are a Metco community, our students are all Metco students. Some live in Boston, some live in Needham. But the diversity and the richness that the Metco program brings to our community is really a part of who and what we are.
There are things to be done that are very small, easy to implement immediately, that make a difference. Just, you're talking about the website, just some changes in language that make things more welcoming, to big things like thinking of ourselves as a Metco district. That's really resonating with me. That's something that I'm thinking about. So I appreciate that this is hard work that comes and will be addressed in different ways.
Greg mentioned this related to students about images of themselves. Well, this I think makes me look at an image of myself. How am I thinking along these lines? How do I look at myself as, I think we'd all like to say we're not racist and we don't have stereotypical opinions, but we all do in some way. So this will bring many members of the community a chance to look at themselves and how they're interacting with the community, not just in the schools.
Proud that our district and all of you, particularly part of the REAL Coalition, you're just real profound sense of commitment to doing this work and to pushing us forward and forcing all of us, our students, our staff, our community members to get us to a place where we need to be and where we need to be a better community for all of us.
The school committee plans to revisit equity in the schools next year. For the Needham Channel News, I'm Elizabeth Collegian.